stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. We also have business news, which will be coming up later on the show. Send your messages to WhatsApp number 0539 986 996, 0539 986 996, and mention me on X at Umaru Sanda or at Citi973 at the hashtag Eyewitness News. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM, broadcasting from Accra and around Ghana on a host of affiliate stations. We start off from the courts. Yesterday, we brought you news that Larry Alansdogbe, journalist, editor of the Herald newspaper, had been convicted and sentenced to 7 days in prison for contempt against the court. Now, yesterday when we spoke to his lawyer, he told us that he was going to file some necessary processes to help his client get out. Now, the client, though, as of the time we're speaking, he said was already in the custody of the state. Tonight, we are learning that that decision has been rendered moot by the fact that a bail has been granted. What's the nature of this bail? Where was the application? What was the decision of the new court? David Tamaklo is a journalist, a very good friend of Larry Alansdogbe. He was in the courts today and he's joining me on the line. Mr. Tamaklo, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
You're welcome, How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Happy to hear that Larry is out. Tell us more on what transpired.
Well, Umaru, I think after the incident yesterday, we at Primpack consulted with the lawyers of Larry, including some friendly lawyers who came to assist as well. And they were able to draft the process for asking the court to grant him bail pending appeal of the ruling yesterday. And that was what the judge granted.
Was it the same judge or a different court that you went to today?
It's the same judge. Traditionally, it has to be the same judge. You need to come back to the same judge.
And how did you manage to? How did the lawyer manage to convince him?
Well, I think the lawyer only had to indicate grounds of the appeal, and then ask the bail on based on evidences of the need for it. So there was an appeal, and then they attached notice. An appeal for there was an appeal. And then there was a request for bail pending the appeal. The lawyers will explain it.
Which is what I'm familiar with. So I was thinking more of bail pending appeal, which means that he's been sentenced to prison. He is in prison. Then he has appealed before the court. And he is also saying to the court that he should be granted bail pending the appeal.
Pending the appeal.
And that he has a belief, and the court would agree with him that he has a case in the appeal process, and so they would typically give him bail so that they allow him to go for trial. Now, if at the end of the day the appeal doesn't work in his favor, he returns in there. If it works in his favor, then he goes home. Now, so is that your understanding of what was filed today?
Yes, exactly. That's the understanding. I mean, the bail is to take just effect for just 10 days. If after the 10 days he doesn't come back to the court with a proper notice, because this was on ex-parte. So he needs to file an appeal on notice. And that appeal on notice would now be argued by both parties, after which the final decision will be taken on the contempt ruling.
You are the president of Primpack, the private newspaper publishers, which is where Larry plies his trade. Strictly looking at the conviction yesterday, there are people, and in fact Larry himself has said that journalism is not a crime. Did you get the sense that he was punished for doing his work as a print journalist?
Well, I think that the judgment could have been different. And I say so because, I mean, as journalists, we do this in the interest of the public. And whilst we do this, the court and all other stakeholders need to understand that doing this in the interest of the public. When such cases come to them, they may have to treat us with some compassion. They shouldn't be in a rush to, punish us. It is different from just an ordinary case coming a civil case coming between one person and the other, and then, you are required to judge who is right or who is wrong. This is a journalist doing the work in the interest of the public, and so we believe that the judge would have, apprised themselves to the dictates of our work, the conditions of our work, and consider some perhaps it wouldn't have been such a punitive judgment. It should have considered some other thing. I mean, it was at the discretion of the judge to decide whether to jail him or not. But I think that if he considers the fact that our work is quite different, of course, in the interest of the state, he probably would have given him a judgment that is more proportionate to the issue at stake. Because, mind you, this is not a substantive case. This is just an interlocutory case application. And so I think that there could have been a more softer approach to this than jailing him.
How is Larry doing, though, himself? You have seen him.
Larry is in good spirits. If you know Larry, he's in good spirits. And he's very happy for everyone who have been supportive of him all through the 2 days. He's not deterred by what happened yesterday. I think that he's very passionate about journalism. So I would say that he's cool.
So he's fine. So he's gone home to his family now. Everything has been done.
Larry is gone home with his wife. He's gone home and he's happy.
Thank you, and thank God that he got out of that. Thank you so much for the support.
You're welcome, son.
That's David Tamaklo. He's a journalist and president of the Private Newspaper Publishers Association of Ghana, Primpac. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. So the update, if you're just joining us, Larry Alansdogbe yesterday was convicted and sentenced to prison for 7 days over contempt. Today, the lawyer went to court and prayed the court, which court has agreed to grant him bail. So he's actually out on bail now. That is the situation that we have currently picked up, which we are reporting on for you. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Send me your messages on WhatsApp 0539 986 996 0539 986 996. You can also go on Twitter, now known as X, and drop your messages there using the hashtag Eyewitness News. Let me shift briefly and do something else. It has to do with Kennedy Ohini Ejepong. He was in the news last week after slamming his own party, and there was a petition that was taken to the NPP about him, about his conduct, and we are told that the party has taken a decision on that petition that has been brought before it. Haruna Mohammed is Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. He's joined us on the line. Mr. Mohammed, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Alad.
Hope everything is well.
Everything is fine tomorrow.
Thank God. Yesterday we were told you had a meeting. Was that NEC or the executive, expanded executive, or just a small executive meeting that happened yesterday? And what was the agenda that related specifically to Kennedy Ejepong?
Thank you very much, Umaru. I would like to say good evening to your cherished listeners and those of the followers who are following on the social media handles. Yesterday, indeed, we had a meeting. It was the National Executive Committee meeting and also the National Council meeting. The NEC meeting came first in the morning around 11 and ended somewhere around 1 getting to 2. Then we proceeded with the National Council meeting. Indeed, the topic for the discussion with respect to Honorable Kennedy Ohini Ejepong came up because of the petitions that have been filed through the National Party. The dictate of the party's constitution, it permits me under Article 4.3, which is under jurisdiction. You read specifically on Article 4.3 436D of the party's constitution, a complaint against a member of parliament or a former member of parliament shall be made to the National Executive Committee, and in case of a member of the National Executive Committee, to the National Council, both of which shall be filed at the National Office through the General Secretary. So these particular petitions were filed to the General Secretary to be conveyed to the National Executive Committee, which was done properly yesterday. And NEC, in its own wisdom, because of the procedure and the respect for rule of law, decided to refer these particular petitions to the disciplinary committee to give this respected member, former parliament, a hearing because of Article 3.3 of the party's constitution, where it is set in 2 that a member has the right to be heard whenever their activities and conduct are in question and under consideration by the party. So these particular petitions were referred to the disciplinary committee, and 2 weeks were given to the disciplinary committee to look at that and report back to the National Council for a decision to be taken.
Is that the procedure that you do 2 weeks? Is there a reason that you chose 2 weeks? It sounds like very sudden.
Yes, the number of days per the constitution is within 21 days. So you can even use 2 days to deal with the matter, depending upon the matter that is brought. So it's within 21 days. That's what the constitution states. So within 21 days doesn't mean 21 days. It means you can dispense off with the matter before the time of 21, but you should not exceed 21 days.
Okay, now what is the committee expected to do? To what? Invite only him or hear from the petitioners? What kind of sitting would it be?
Usually our sittings are in camera, and Honorable Kennedy Ohina Japan will be written to for him to be invited to appear before the disciplinary committee, which is chaired by the former Rules Minister, Amakwa, and he will be given the fair hearing because of the rules of natural justice. If there is the need for petitioners to appear to give clarity to some of the matters, the committee will definitely invite the petitioners to appear and give clarity to some of the matters if the committee actually wants to hear them. But if there is clarity in the petitions, because videos and audios have been attached to these particular petitions that have come, and we believe in the sincerity and the work of the disciplinary committee, and the party is very strict that we need this particular report within 2 weeks, and 2 weeks is 2 weeks.
If he does not appear before the committee, what happens?
It's part of the disciplinary measures. The committee know the angle in which they have to go if he does not appear. It's also part of the disciplinary measures.
So they would assess the petition as is brought, listen to the audio, hear from him, and make a pronouncement. What are the possible sanctions that may be given to Kennedy Japan?
I may not be able to tell because I have not read the petitions extensively to know the matters that have been raised. But what I do know is that these petitions are pertaining to the recent issues and comments, more especially the 2 important comments that were made, one of which was in defiance with the party's constitution, which state that every member has to abide by and publicly uphold the decision of the party, and also to promote and defend the good name of the party and be loyal and truthful to the party. So in these particular instances, one of the comments have gone against about 3 strands of the party's constitution, and these people are petitioning because of some of these particular infractions and misconduct within the party structure. Again, if you also refuse to appear, also amounts to a misconduct, and the committee would know how to deal with all those particular matters when it arises.
Is the party not afraid of what he's holding against it? That's why you want to use this to quickly deal with him or punish him. If the party is democratic, that's a view that could be held. And why not allow him stay with you and spill all the beans that he says he wants to spill?
Well, we are not aware of what he's holding, and aside being a member of the party, he's a citizen of Ghana first, and every citizen of Ghana is enshrined in the 1992 Constitution to make matters public and also to report matters of criminal nature to the police for investigation or appropriate agency for that. So if there is any criminal record at all, you don't need a party's constitution for him to be brought to book or be called to report such matters. So he can, as well as a citizen of Ghana, go ahead and make such matters public or report to the appropriate agency. So we are not afraid of anything, and that is why we are inviting him based on some of the comments he has made, that people have believed that he has stepped on some aspects of the party's constitution with respect to those particular provisions that they have quoted in the submission of their petitions to the party. What other major things did the party deal with yesterday that you think the public could know without problems? We looked at the elections that has been done. We took reports from various regions, and the regions briefed us with the current internal elections that is ongoing. Generally, we had about 98% success in terms of the conduct, and some few places have been mentioned with respect to some other activities that is going on. The party took decision to put on hold on some of those particular constituencies, and the General Secretary will be putting an internal memo to some of those particular constituencies. Communication has already gone to some of them to hold on to the elections as the decision has been taken by the National Executive Committee. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Thank you, Alhaji Umaru. Not going to Hajj yet, but thank you. That is why I'm inviting the public to make sure that you go. You are my good friend. Thank you so much. It's a good place to go, and I know your dedication to Islam. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's Alhaj Haruna Mohammed, Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Accra. I am Umaru Sandamado. Let's get some analysis now on how the NPP is dealing with these matters. Dr. Abdul Jalilu Ateku is a political analyst. Doc, you're welcome. Okay, I do not have him. I'll talk to him after this. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Charlie, I'm nice. I get some serious meeting. Allah, motion. But Charlie, no credit today. Oh, but you relax. More day.
Hey, what funny.
Yes, so I borrow small, sort myself out, I pay back. We move. Spot there. Ah, Charlie, you sure say you they pay back? Yes, so that anytime somebody else they need them, more day. Be like I for can't borrow some more. Hey, you this boy. Don't go there and disgrace yourself. Allah, motion.
Responsible borrowing be the real flexo for today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. Borrow, sort them, pay back. Momo Day.
Upper East Rising, Pale Framework 2026 to 2035. Prosperity through enterprise, agriculture, resilience, and livelihoods. The future begins now. For generations, the Upper East region has been rich in culture, agriculture, enterprise, and human potential. Today, a new chapter begins. Join industry leaders, policymakers, development partners, investors, and innovators as we unveil a bold 10-year development framework designed to unlock billions in investment opportunities, create sustainable jobs, transform agriculture, strengthen local industries, and improve livelihoods across all 15 districts of the Upper East region. The date is June 29 to July 1, 2026. The venue is Desert Pastures Auditorium in Bolgatanga. The time, 9 a.m. prompt. Pearl, building prosperity from our strength. Pearl, building the Upper East we deserve. This forum is under the auspices of the Upper East Regional Coordinating Council, members of Parliament from the Upper East region, and the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. Media partners, Citi FM and Channel 1 TV.
Where do your hopes and dreams take flight? The money you've earned, the future shining bright. At Petra, we're not just here for your retirement plan. We are here for the life you've imagined and then some. From your child's education to your dream home's door, we'll help you achieve what you're striving for. Petra is here, steady and strong. Your wealth in safe hands, where it belongs. With investments that grow at rates that compete, we build your future with every heartbeat. That's Petra, your partner. come joy or strife, guiding you toward the dreams that define your life. For your pensions, investments, loans, and more, visit our website at petraonline.com or call 0242 435037. Petra, achieve more.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sandamadu. We are talking about the New Patriotic Party and Kennedy Ejapon. Dr. Abdul Jalil Ateku is a political analyst. Doc, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Umaru. Good evening.
Good evening to you. How should NPP handle Kennedy Ejapon? He is big, but he's become a problem for the party to some extent. At least that's what many members of the party think, but he believes he's exposing wrongs in the party.
Thank you very much. I think that so far what I heard is that they have I think transmitted the petitions to a disciplinary committee also. And in my view, I think that they should have hastened slowly. I think that it is not late. I believe that as a political party, they have internal mechanism for addressing conflict. So I think that post-elections, the issue that came out from, the 2024 elections, and also their, presidential primaries, right? I think that they still need to work on it rather than just allowing the disciplinary committee to, because the disciplinary committee, at the end of the day, maybe they will come with a report. Maybe it could be sanctions, and you know that what that could also mean. It could be that maybe they may say that, okay, we are suspending you, and once they move to that target, I believe that it is going to create more problems. So I think that they should look at their past history, recent history, where, if you recall, 2024 election, in the lead up to that election, there are certain key figures in the MPP who spoke against the MPP as a political party, right? So, the key figures like Nyao Tamakulu, the commentaries of Kennedy Attah, if I remember, Attah, right? And many others. So, and all those things didn't help the MPP's cause. So, in this particular situation, they still have elders in the party. They should allow the elders, in the parties, to deal with this matter, because you are dealing with someone who contested to lead your party. This person contested in the last primary in 2023 and was second, about 40% or almost 40%. This time around, even though it dropped 23%. So it means that he has a large following. So dealing with such a person, in my view, I think that it should allow the internal mechanism for addressing their conflict. And they can only go to this, this length if those mechanisms fail. And I still think that if, for example, they have, if they should go to President Kufuor, for example, to call him or other people of that structure, I believe that he will be able to tell them why, and then why he's taking some of this, or making some of these utterances and all that. So I believe that if they are able to be able to deal with that. But if they, it is only when they have used this internal mechanism and it should fail, I think that then you can move. So that one, everybody will know that, oh, maybe we have done A, B, and C. But this is, just after the flag bearership, he made certain comments, and then because of the petitions, you have forwarded it to the disciplinary committee. I think that, in my view, if they should have a second look at it and see how they will be able to, because if you are in opposition, especially going to prosecute a difficult election like 2028, I think that, asking people to leave and that kind of thing is not going to be in their interest. So if they still have the opportunity, in my view, to use the internal mechanism, disciplinary committee may be part of it, but
that one may appear to be hostile, because if you are using reconciliation and other decisions that you have, you dialogue with the person, right? The person who, so at the end of the day, there will be a kind of maybe a win-win situation, and that person will still be there, and then he will call on his supporters to continue to remain in the party, so that you'll be able to prosecute an effective campaign.
Proponents of fairness would say that you're using different strokes for different folks, and that because it's Kennedy Ejapon, you want to have a kukum sitting or hearing, you want to have a private dealing with him, when for an ordinary party member they will be sent to the disciplinary committee. How would you respond to that?
But the issue is that they have the internal party mechanism for resolving conflict, right? It's part of their internal arrangement, right? So it doesn't mean that everything you take it to the disciplinary committee. And I'm not saying that because he's Kennedy Ejapon, even though yes, other party members would not be the same as someone who has contested a flagship election, who has large following, right? So I think that, and that is why when there are issues after the elections, you use this mechanism even across the constituency. And in my view, even the NPP as a political party, they've not been able to do that from 2020 elections, then up to 2024, and that actually impacted on their parliamentary seats till date. So I think that they should, in my view, when people are saying that, oh, maybe because it's a big person, yes, because if in an organization, right, you will not have people of the same status, right? There are key figures, there are ordinary people and all that. And that doesn't also mean that even when ordinary people have issues, you cannot use internal party mechanisms, so long as it remains your key mechanisms you want to use to address conflict, whether it is a key figure or ordinary people, you can use that. But if that fails, right, that is where maybe you move to the disciplinary situation. So they have to weigh they have to do cost-benefit analysis. If you go to the disciplinary committee and then assuming that there's a suspension and he resigns, is he moving away with people? And is that going to be in the interest of the party of the NPP as a political party? Right. So, but from where I sit and looking at the situation that they have a difficult election to prosecute in 2028, I still think that it is not too late. They still use the internal reconciliation to be able to address this problem.
So withdraw.
Just some comments that he passed.
So withdraw the reference to the referral to the disciplinary committee and deal with him. Perhaps call an elder or a statesman to talk to him. If that fails, then you may actually do that in addition to the disciplinary procedure. That's what your belief is.
No, I think that this procedure should be the last thing that they should think about, right? Because I do not think that they have already exhausted their internal mechanisms. They have council of elders. Why wouldn't they allow the elders of the party, right? Because obviously during the election, you can clearly see that there were some national executive, regional executives, and all that who supported a particular cause, largely from the Dr. Baumia's camp and all that, right? So under the circumstance, you allow the council of elders or certain key figures within the party to be able to broker some kind of peace with the person. So if all those process or mechanism fail, then you can now move to a position where maybe you may decide that if that's the case, once we are not able to do so, let's allow the disciplinary to take its course, and then if the person is suspended, everybody will know that you have done what was to. But so far, just some few criticisms here and there, and then say that go to the disciplinary committee. That is where the problem I have. So I think that they should still use their internal, such as council of elders, key figures within the party to be able to resolve it, rather than just moving straight away to the disciplinary committee.
I don't know if you have read Animal Farm. That's political fable, a very, very popular one too by George Orwell. In Animal Farm, When Napoleon saw Snowball as a threat, he had a way of letting him out so that he can have full power and control and authority. In this case, if Kennedy is a snowball and he's causing problems for Napoleon, who is perhaps Dr. Bawumia, who is the leader of the party now, would it not be better to send Snowball packing so that you would have a purposeful plan to deal with one party so that all detractors would then be out?
Well, if kicking him out, right, will not affect them negatively. Okay, that's why I said that you have to do some analysis here and see if he leaves, what is going to be the impact. And that's what I made references to some of their key figures in the past who had issues with them. But because of their failure to resolve those issues, some of them even became more critical to their own party's government than even the NDC, right? So definitely, yes, you can ask him to leave. If he leaves, what is going to be? One, definitely he might move with some people. Some people will still remain with the party. Okay, so that is where I'm saying that they have to do. But in my view, from where I sit, that's what to avoid all this. And why not just allow? Because for him, looking at the whole thing, is some of us will see it as criticisms. Maybe some people will say that maybe it should have been done within maybe behind the scenes or within the party and not outside, right? But that is that's how he decided to respond to some of those issues. So I think that it is not a major issue for now for them to just take certain steps that will lead to his suspension or dismissal from the party. And that's why I'm saying that they still need to use the party structure, the internal mechanism to be able to address that. If those systems fail, then you can move to the situation where you bring in the disciplinary committee.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you very much.
That's Dr. Abdul Jalilu Atiku. He's a political analyst speaking to us on the issue between Kennedy Japan and the New Patriotic Party. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Accra. It's 5:30. If you're just tuning in, Eyewitness News started 30 minutes ago. Eyewitness News now airs from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weeknight, Monday that is to Friday. It's for 2 hours. We have Eyewitness from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Like I said, as part of the show, we have in-studio guests that we have discussions with, and that could be at the beginning of the show, in the middle of the show, or towards the end of the show. We also have business news, which we bring to you, wrapping up these big stories in business. Then we have news summaries where we make sure you do not lose the big stories of the day in terms of summary. Then we have the interviews and analysis of the big stories for you. And then we'll put the microphone in your hands at around 20 minutes to 7 p.m. where we will bring you talk back, where you send your messages and we will hear from you. So if you're just tuning in, wherever you're listening to us from, Eyewitness News started 30 minutes ago. So next time, please tune in at 5 p.m., not at 5:30. And that also goes to all our listeners across the country, those who are listening to us in Takrady on Beach 105.5 FM, and those on 93.5 FM in Takrady, that's Sky FM. We are grateful that you've joined us. Those who are listening to us in Sunyani in the Bono region on Greener 95.9 FM, we are grateful. Those who are tuned in Goso in the Ahafo region on Hammers Radio 106.5 FM, thank you for tuning into Eyewitness News. Those who are listening to us in the second biggest city in Ghana, Kumasi, on Focus 94.3 FM and Orange 107.9 FM in the Ashanti region, Yadamwasi. In the Volta region in Tajavu on Revival 99.3 FM, Akbenami. In the northern region, we are on Radio Bimbila on the eastern side of the region. That's Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM in Bimbila. In the upper east region, we are on Pure FM 100.7. That's in Navrongo. Then in Bolgatanga, the capital, we are on Bolga 102.7 FM. We are also on Gumzang 90.1 FM in Tongo. Now in the upper west region, we are live in Wa on Tungsong 97.3 FM. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. This is Eyewitness News. It's an interactive show, which means I want to hear what you think, because that's very important so that it will guide us and give us feedback on how the program is going, plus the national issues we are discussing, what you make of them. Send us messages on WhatsApp 0539 986 996 0539 986 996, or go on X, mention my handle at Umaru Sanda or at Citi 973 at the hashtag Eyewitness News. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's go back to South Africa now, shall we? Recall that past few weeks, South Africa has been in the news because they have been attacking our people, most of people from other countries in Africa. Now, the government of Ghana, through the Foreign Affairs Ministry led by the Honorable Samuel Attah-Mensah, has airlifted a number of Ghanaians through a charter flight using Ethiopian Airways. But as we speak, there are a lot more Ghanaians in there. And we are told that 30th June, which will be which day? 30th June will be Tuesday. It's a big day. There's going to be a very big, massive demonstration. And the Zulus, not Zulus, but the people in South Africa who say that they don't want foreigners in their land have planned a big demonstration, and they're also saying 30th June is the last day for everybody to leave that country. So how are Ghanaians faring? Isaac Owusu is a Ghanaian living in South Africa. You're welcome, Isaac.
Greetings, sir. Thank you.
Which province in South Africa are you?
I was living in a Free State province, Bloemfontein.
Oh, you're in Bloemfontein. Now, how the past few weeks we reported on xenophobic attacks. Have they reduced the attacks, or they are still on the ascendancy, or they've been suspended until Tuesday? What's the plan?
Okay. Let me take this opportunity to say Thanksgiving to your viewers and the listeners. And also, at first, I would like to thank the government of Ghana, which is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Okujeto Abrakwa, and as well as Mr. Benjamin Kwashi, for their hard working that they have done for Ghanaians so far. As I'm talking to you now, I'm in Pretoria, which I'm part of the evacuation batch that we are remaining here. Yes, at first, the situation was very, very bad. Even though we are speaking now, there's nothing changed. There's nothing changed. It's still bad. And the situation right now as we are speaking, the day that they gave is not even up yet, but some places have been started pushing the foreign nationals who are living in their buildings and their residents away from their premises, which is very, very... Can you hear me, sir?
No, Isaac, proceed. I'm listening to you.
Okay. Yeah, so as we are speaking now, some of the people have been receiving a letter from the communities and some places that they should move out from their premises. Otherwise, there will be a charge for the owner of the house. So, which is very, very bad as I'm speaking. What I'm saying is going on Bloemfontein, Free State. You see, so it has been very bad for Ghanaians as we are speaking. So if you ask me about what is going on, I can say the situation is still very bad.
Isaac, I'm just curious, how long have you been in South Africa? Because now you're saying bad and you're saying back, and I'm wondering, when did you get this accent?
Okay, yeah, you're right. I've been here for past 13 years. And according to the tone of this country, that is how they pronounce their words. And when you try to say bad, it's difficult for them to understand. So that is the reasons the tone has been changed. So I'm apologize for that, if any inconvenience.
But considering that you are Isaac also OT3?
Yes, Mitichipa.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to be sure that we have not lost you completely. Now, if you've been there, we are Ghanaian. But once you're on now, you've done 13 years. Why are you a candidate for for sacking. Tell me why they want to sack you.
Let me make a correction here. Not 30. It's 13.
Yes. I said 13. Yes, 1 3.
Okay. Yeah. No, their problem right now. There's an African citizen problem with the foreign national right now. Is they are tired of the foreign nationals because we have taken their jobs and we have committing crimes. At first, they were attacking the illegal ones, which no country will support the illegality, which is understandable. But time goes, they have been doing this for each and every foreign national. As long as you are from Africa, they are telling you to go back to your country. Even if you are documented, you have to go back to your country. You see, as I'm speaking to you now, let me use myself as an example. The reasons why myself I'm being part of this evacuation is because I have 3 kids here with my Ghanaian wife. When I took the kids to the school, I relocate, and then I was looking for the school. When I get the school, the principal called me and tell me that they have given me 6 months to get a student permit for my kids which they were born here. So it is against their law. Their law says if the child is born here, no, every child have a right to education. It doesn't mean who she is, like a foreign national or citizen. You understand? So when they start calling me for all this requirement, that is when I decided to take my kids back home because I didn't see any future. And also, some of the people around there were trying to warn me, it's better to take your kids back home because on 30th of June is not going to be good. So that is what I can say for now.
So you have you have your wife who is Ghanaian and you have 3 children. I think I can see one of your children in the back there. She's trying to come into the camera. Yeah, can she say hello to me? I want to ask her how she's.
Come and talk to them, Charles.
Yes. I saw them being curiously trying to look at. Hello, how are you, children?
Hi.
You go to school and close the door behind you. The light is worrying me. So close that door and good. So come stand behind Daddy. Good. Do you understand the situation? What happens when you go to school? Do you get your school children who are not Ghanaians, the South African children? Do they say anything to you?
Joel, you speak.
Yeah.
What are they doing to you when you attend school? When you go with the school bus, what words are they saying to you?
The school bus. Sometimes they tell me that I look ugly. And they also call us as foreigners. This one, makwere, and
makwere. When they say makwere means. It's something like using some word like in Ghana, how do you use zamanama or very harsh words that you don't supposed to use for a human. Continue.
I want to talk. It's very bad. And they also call us a bad. Wait.
Do you feel you are South African or you feel you are Ghanaian?
What?
Do you feel you are a Ghanaian or you feel you are a South African?
No, I choose to be a South African. I'm a Ghanaian. Yes, I feel that I'm a Ghanaian.
So you want to be a Ghanaian? You feel you're a Ghanaian?
Yes, I am a Ghanaian.
Do you want to leave that country because that's where you were born? That's where you grew up. Do you want to come to Ghana or you want to remain in South Africa?
I want to come to Ghana to learn new things and see what is happening there and know some other things in Ghana and learn our language there also. And know the food there too. Everything.
There's very nice food here. I can promise you. So, but the problem is when you leave, you're going to leave your school, your friends, and all of that. Will you not miss those people if you come home?
Yeah. Yeah, I do have a friend. Yeah, I'll miss them when I'm going back going to my family's country.
But you are ready to come back. You don't want to stay there. Why don't you want to stay in South Africa?
No, they just bully us every day. Every day. Even my sister here says that when she come back from school, we go everywhere. Me, my brother, my sister, and me also. We come to from the same school, right? My sister once said to me that they bully her every day, and they roast her, they tease her, they say silly words to her, and it was not nice. I was feeling bad in my heart. Be honest.
Let me speak to your sister. How old are you, though? What's your name and how old are you? No, not the sister. The brother who just spoke. No, the one who spoke.
My name. I'm turning 12 this year.
You are turning 12. Okay. And your sister, how old is she? Sister, how old are you?
She's turning 6.
You see, always in my class, my teacher calls me Magwere, blames me that I do something wrong, but I don't. And she called her classmates to teach my ears. And I don't know why.
Do you complain
You see, my classmates are laughing at me for nothing. And my brother is saying no. They should not tease me. But my teacher is playing with my brother like nothing happens. When my father come over, she acts like nothing happened. So I'm trying to find out what is wrong with her. It's like she's good or bad. Because of her spirit, she doesn't want to be friends with me.
Do you want to?
When her father is here, my father is here, she'll act good to me.
Have you been to Ghana before?
What?
Have you come to Ghana before?
We have.
Do you want to come back to Ghana or you want to remain? Do you want to remain in South Africa or you want to come back to Ghana? No, I'm talking to your little sister.
Yes, I want to come back to Ghana. But it seems like I don't want to stay here because we cannot go to Ghana. We have to find out the problem. So my mother and my father is trying to find out. And I told them I don't want to stay here. When are we going to Ghana, our country? They went here and they said next week. So I told them okay. Then now they said I cannot go to school. They have to pay school fees. Always school fees.
Okay. Let me talk to your other brother, the one in red. How old are you?
6. I'm 7.
You are 7. Do you know what is happening? What is happening to you in your school?
At break, people always come kick when I'm eating. They kick my food, kick me, and they roast me. They complain about me. They lie about me, and they say I have these 2 big teeth, and they say I have big ears, and I have a long nose.
Do they say you should leave and go back to your country?
What?
Do they tell you to go back to your country?
No. Don't tell him what to say. Let him speak what is the truth.
They don't tell you that. But why do they do what they do to you? Did they tell you why they do what they do to you?
Yeah, they're always like telling me, should I do this? Should I do that? I say no. They are going to complain that I do something to them. After they come and say that they'll send me out of that school. That's why I'm coming.
Let me speak to your daddy now. Isaac, so clearly you are not the only one affected. Even the children can feel it from the story they've just told me there. It means that you have no option. You don't want to stay in that country by 30th June.
Yes, of course. That is my big problem, because this case, sometimes you will be waking them up in the morning, try to prepare them to school, and they will be like, no, we don't want to go to school, because when we go there, the situation we are in, we don't like, you know. But because of their kids, I always find a solution to convince them. But honestly, they are not okay. As I'm talking to you now, they are out of school for past 1 month. They are not attending school because they are also ready to come with us.
So your plan is to pack house and just come back to Ghana, your wife and your children, 3 children.
Yes, we are already here. We are waiting. I was there at High Commission last week, and then this week probably he told us there will be a flight, but next week. Though he didn't tell us the exactly date, but he said there will be a flight by next week. So I will use this opportunity to plead to the government, to plead to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to have mercy on us, because we are facing a big challenge, very, very big challenge.
It means that you do not think you would survive after June 30. Well, okay, June 30 is Tuesday. That's the big day. What is your? Yes. Are you anxious, or do you have some anxiety towards that day?
No, we don't have any anxiety. You know, when it comes to this country, there's a good people as well here also. But when the wrong people make their mind up, there's nothing can stop them. That is what I know about here. So we are looking up to God and what is going to happen. But what I know for now is in Pretoria, where we are waiting for our evacuation. At least there's a certain limit of causing harm, because all the embassies are here. So which means most of foreigners that they are here, they are preparing to go home, or they are seeking for their High Commission protection. So here they are not disturbing that much like other places.
Isaac, but you do have the legal documentation to be in that country, don't you?
Yes, I do. I have a working permit on my. When I come, I'll come to you and I'll show you. I'm a legal here. My wife was on asylum seeker, so she's also legal.
But now you're going to throw all of that and leave. Do you not worry that you ran away from Ghana clearly because you wanted to go get greener pastures? Now you have gone and you are planning to come back. Do you get a sense that when you come back, there's a better Ghana waiting for you?
I had that mind for past years, always regretting to travel. What I realize is Ghana is one of the best countries, if we know. But the problem in our Ghanaian, if you're living in Ghana, you don't feel that opportunity. But once you travel out and experience life out there, you will see the opportunities in Ghana. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm very glad that I'm returning back to Ghana.
What is your profession or your trade?
Actually, I came to South Africa for football. Unfortunately, I didn't succeed because of the papers issue at that time. So I turned myself into a businessman. I'm fixing, doing hair. Also, here there's an opportunity of buying the accident car and sell, which was not, they did not even allow us some time being. So the profession I was doing here is a salon work, but I am a generator repairer for my professional.
No, when you say you are in the salon, is it women hair or men hair that you fix?
Both.
So you are a barber and maybe also you do hair stuff. If you came back to Ghana, if you come back to Ghana, is that something you would want to come and do?
Yes, when I come back to Ghana, I have a skills of repairing generator. So I'm going to do that work.
Wish you all the best and thank you for speaking to us. Please stay safe and take care of those beautiful and brilliant children you have there.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
That's Isaac. Also, he's a Ghanaian living in South Africa, waiting for the flight to evacuate him and other people, other Ghanaians who are in that country. June 30 is a deadline that has been given by the South African thugs who are going after foreign nationals living in that country. And the government of Ghana has already airlifted a number of Ghanaians. They are working to get more, but the calls and the cries are getting louder from Ghanaians living in that country. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. If you're a Ghanaian listening to us in South Africa, send me your message 0539 986 996. If you're a Ghanaian who was returned from South Africa, let me know as well your view 0539 986 996. If you're a Ghanaian listening to your fellow Ghanaians speak from South Africa, you have a view 0539 986 996. Fafa Melody Potifa is in studio to bring us news summaries. Fafa, take it over.
In more stories, former Director General of the Commission for TVET and Member of Parliament's Education Committee, Dr. Fred Che Asamoah, has raised concerns over the shortage of teachers and inadequate funding for technical and vocational education and training. According to him, only about 1,000 teaching and non-teaching personnel have been recruited for TVET institutions under the Mahama administration, with insufficient funds provided for consumables. Speaking to journalists, the Offenso North MP called on the government to place greater emphasis on TVET development by increasing investment in the sector.
But Umia doesn't want NDC government to, but he wants them to do the right thing. So when we can take it to the next level. And we're saying that give some focus to TVET. We fix some workshop. We need to, because now how much is being given to TVET training as far as consumable is concerned? Recently, we need teachers to go to TVET institution. How many was given? Just 1,000. Teaching and non-teaching staff. How can it fit TVET? And the robust TVET you need is the second cycle TVET, which is equivalent to the German dual system.
Dr. Che Asamoah further urged the government to strengthen collaboration with industries to provide practical training opportunities for TVET students.
What do we need to do in interim? Because we can't waste 2 years of Ghanaian young men and women's life. What we are saying is government should bring industry on board as soon as possible. As soon as possible. We had initiated a dual training where we had some schools that were saying that, look, let them go to the company for 2-3 days and let them be in school for 10. We don't know what is happening in it. We need the industry as soon as possible because government can never create jobs. But in Ghana, what are we doing? We are only asking government to create all the jobs. And if government is creating all the jobs, it's not possible. Government does what we call creating enabling environment for the private sector to create jobs. Those that have been traveling outside of country, how many of them are taking government jobs? In fact, for those that are taking government jobs, they seems to be conservative, don't want to take risks, and maybe another word I don't want to replace it, right? Most of the people that travel out of country are doing private jobs. They are employed by private companies. But here, what do we see? Everybody, in fact, forget the 300,000 that they are not going to a tertiary, that have not been brought in. But even the 100,000 that go to a tertiary institution, what is happening to them? Everybody is looking at government to employ them. Is it possible? It can never be. It can never be.
You had a former Director General of the Commission for TVET, the Offenso North MP, and a Member of Parliament's Education Committee, Dr. Fred Che Asamoah. Now, in other news, the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, has reaffirmed its decision to embark on a nationwide strike if government fails to resolve outstanding issues concerning its conditions of service by June 30. Speaking to Citi News, UTAG National Secretary Dr. Samuel Kingsford-Segler said government failed to appear for their last negotiation meeting, leaving the discussions unresolved.
We notified the National Labour Commission of our intention to strike after 30th June if nothing is heard from the government side. The NLC wrote to us inviting the parties to a hearing last Wednesday. We appeared before the commission, but the government side was not properly represented, so the meeting was adjourned to yesterday, Thursday, at 12 in the afternoon. We appeared yesterday, the Commission requested for minutes of our negotiation with the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, which we presented. The Chief Executive of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, Dr. George Smith-Reham, was there in person. He explained to the Commission that it was true that we had a negotiation and agreed. However, they were facing some challenges and they needed to clear those hurdles before they could go ahead to sign. The Commission was not impressed with the response. The Commission insisted that they take appropriate steps to resolve the matter. Fair Wages pleaded for 1 more week to resolve the matters. We also indicated from our side to the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission that our June 30th deadline remains unchanged. And so if government does not respond, take steps to resolve our issues by 30th June, then they should expect us to strike afterwards.
Dr. Samuel Attah-Mensah is the National Secretary of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG. Now, the Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, TUC, Joseph Ansah, has cautioned that organized labor will not hesitate to resort to strike action if negotiations with government fail to produce fair outcomes. Speaking at the 2026 Annual Labor Conference in Ho, Mr. Ansah said industrial action remains a legitimate tool for protecting the rights and welfare of workers when dialogue does not yield satisfactory results. He also urged the government to ensure equitable salary increment across all sectors and levels of the public service.
If you push us to the wall, you will strike. We are only happy because we think that we are not gotten there yet. But if they push us there, we will strike. Because that's the only way we can redeem our rights. Let us continue to have fair discussions, fair conclusions, and there will be no strike in this country. Otherwise, there will be strike. Number 2, you were all flabbergasted by a news flash yesterday, and you are yet to confirm that some portions of people in this country have increased their salaries by 100%. We are searching. We are delving deep into this matter and ensure that we have the right information. You cannot give us 9% and go increase yours by 100%. If it is not true, let us know it's not true. But if it is true, then get ready.
That was the Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, Joshua Ansah. Now, the Cape Coast Metropolitan Assembly says it has instituted an elaborate mechanism to tackle flooding in the metropolis. Mayor George Justice Arthur says several committees set up last year following building collapses have been working to identify and address the causes of flooding and structural failures. He attributes the city's recurrent flooding and building collapses to aging colonial-era drainage systems and weakened laterite buildings that are more than a century old.
The Assembly also took robust decision to demolish some of these structures that were in a dilapidated state. 6 of these structures were demolished, and these are the details. Assembly demolished one of the dangerous buildings at Dejano, Anochen Fahunzi in the Cape Coast South. One building was also demolished. Assembly demolished 2 buildings at Bakano, specifically the Point, and another building happens to be our former leader in Cape Coast building, old Banasco building at Abiasi. Victoria Park, one structure was also brought down, and Chapel Square, another structure was also brought down. So in all, 6 major structures that were in dilapidated state were brought down by the Assembly.
The mayor has, however, indicated that stringent measures are being implemented to tackle indiscriminate waste disposal and construction on waterways.
Sensitization exercise on proper waste disposal, maintenance of old structures, enforcement of bylaws. Our bylaws were enforced. Joint committee was formed with the University of Cape Coast to seek technical expertise on waste management, flooding, and decongestion of the area. Letters were written to the various homes asking them to vacate their places so that the Assembly will be able to demolish all of them. Some were unwilling, some were, when I say lack of better word, highly obstinate to do that. And so Assembly took steps towards it. But this is a natural disaster. So members of the media, it isn't that Assembly was sitting unconcerned. We did something last.
You are the mayor of Cape Coast, George Justice Arthur. Let's stay a bit more in the central region because President John Dramani Mahama has assured Ghanaians that work on the government's flagship Big Push infrastructure project will continue once the current heavy rains subside. According to the president, the ongoing rainfall across the country has temporarily slowed construction activities on several project sites. Speaking during an inspection of the Kafuzizi Road project as part of his working visit to the region, he explained that the decision to reduce the pace of work is intended to ensure the safety of workers and protect the quality of ongoing construction.
The Big Push projects around the country have slowed a bit because of the heavy rainfall we've been experiencing recently. I'm sure that as soon as the rainfall subsides, work will continue because the money for the Big Push has been allocated and it is lying there. As soon as you bring your certificate, you promise that it will be processed within time and you get your money quickly. And so the contractors should speed up so that they can present their certificates and be paid so that they go back to work. We want to deliver as many of these roads as possible. We're scoping phase 2 of the Big Push to start next year. So for those whose roads have not been tackled yet, they could come under phase 2. So we'll continue to improve the road network because we know that the main means of transport for passengers, for goods in Ghana is the roads. So let me thank the engineers, the supervisors, and please make sure the compaction is done well. Most of the roads fail because the compaction is not well done. And so when you put the seal on it, after it rains, the road starts to subside. And so that one is the engineer. I can come and check the compaction. It's really the engineer as soon as make sure that the contractor is not paid until you test the compaction and make sure that it's well compacted.
You heard President John Dramani Mahama. Now, the Environmental Protection Authority says it is working on a legislative framework to impose strict sanctions on the importation of styrofoam food containers ahead of a nationwide ban in 2027. Speaking on Channel 1 TV's Breakfast Daily, EPA's Acting Director for Sustainability and Circular Economy, Larry Kotoi, said the legislation is expected to be ready by December 2026.
You may not be able to import raw materials to start production in January. We are doing this with the industry people and we have written to them to request for data to know their import cycles. So you may not be able to clear any goods that arrive at the ports 1st January. So restrictions will start and we use HS codes. Once we block you, you cannot, and we do this with customs all the time. So currently we are putting together the legal framework to back the policy direction. So definitely by December, we should have the law regulation clearly specifying the penalties and then also some of the enforcement powers that will come with it. Obviously, you may have to confiscate, seize and all that. And there will be fines as well. So we are currently drafting the legal framework to support the policy direction of the president.
Larry Kotoi is the Acting Director for Sustainability and Circular Economy at the Environmental Protection Authority.
Thank you so much, Fafa Melody Botifer. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are broadcasting from our studios in Accra. I'm Umaru Sandamado. We have more coming your way. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Ufie betimi adani baby a upebia. Betimi adani stadium. What a strike! Ana fa kwa yebu TV any computer game wo. Aha! Jenko atoda ebetimi adani classroom.
Madam me pacho menti ase.
Yo, yensa mfa so bio. Ne wo he na wonti ase no.
Nini na.
Ebetimi adani office.
Aha, orders no ahina ye ready. Okay, mundi kan fanko East Legon.
Ebetimi po eswa ye fa ko a ye hwehwemu wo.
Daddy, e dey na Big Bang Theory.
Chain, mami bisa chat GPT.
betimi amawufie adani baby a opese eyibia efise emfa ho ni ne opese oye wo fie MTN fiber betimi aboa amwoye na 500 Mbps unlimited internet ani bo no form a free 299 Ghana cedis echo for MTN fiber bro fie ana waduma mu ede for my MTN app no so ana sebo star 5057 hash but check fiber availability no so ana say number e wo jeno na receive fiber broadband e wo baby a wotino a na tobi ene ya
MTN.
You know that feeling when you're getting ready for work. Your shirt is still crumpled and the iron is just starting to warm up. Or you're late for the wedding and now about to blow dry your hair. Or you have just stocked up meat for the cold store and then suddenly, oh, light off. Life just keeps getting paused. But what if your roof, yes, your roof, could keep things running in your homes and businesses? With EcoBank ASAP, you can switch to solar now by getting a loan to buy solar power systems with no upfront cost and easy repayment. Power your life through EcoBank's vetted solar vendors and lower your power bills over time.
Take back your power with EcoBank ASAP. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Eno, you know what our father left us when he died?
Debts?
He left us land, Eno. But Nanayo said the land is his. The court said, come back in 2031.
Hey, that's not an inheritance. That's a curse, brother.
Real Ejapade doesn't come with disputes. At Deftraco Woodlands, a 592-acre master plan gated city in Dawenya, your inheritance is waiting. Don't leave your children a court case. Leave them Deftraco Woodlands, the Ejapade they'll be proud of. Visit woodlands.devtracogroup.com. Call or WhatsApp us today on 0208-732-302.
Kofi, I think we need to call them.
Deftraco Woodlands, where your roots run deep.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Earlier today, I was speaking to a very respected member of our society who traveled to the Cape Coast in the central region. And I think he returned today. And I asked him how the trip was. Actually, he returned yesterday and I asked him how the journey was. He said he'd had to call off all his engagements today and just stay home and apply aboniki to his body. And the reason is that road from Kasua to Winneba is bad, he says. He says it's so bad, he couldn't even go to work today. Now, it appears that the GPRTU has noticed this and they are planning to give a special increase in fares for vehicles plying that Kasua-Winneba route. And so that is why we want to hear from the GPRTU itself. Samuel Amwa is Deputy Industrial and Public Relations Officer of GPRTU. Mr. Amwa, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you.
Let me understand, is the increase in the fare, the 20% increase you are planning just for people from Kasua to Winneba, or it is nationwide?
All right, thank you very much. Good evening to you and your listeners. Yes, the increment is for those drivers that apply Kasua-Winneba road, not nationwide. Yeah, so that is what
Can you explain why?
Yes, the reason being that, you see, the deplorable state of that road is causing a lot of problem to our drivers that apply that road. Number one has to do with the traffic congestion. From Accra to Cape Coast, at least, you might spend about 3 hours when you get to Cape Coast. But now, a driver can spend more than 6 hours before getting to his final destination. And prior to that, whenever a driver is being stuck in a perfect lane, then it means that the fuel will be consuming more than necessary. That is one factor. Then number two also has to do with the maintenance cost. Anytime a driver will go to Cape Coast or Takoradi or those areas and come back, then there is the possibility for the driver to send the car to workshop, fixing some other part. And nowadays to spare parts is very, very costly. and it's causing a lot of problems. As I'm speaking to you, most of our vehicles are being parked at workshops. There are some that are taking their vehicles off that road. Some counties don't want their vehicles to run that road again because of high cost of maintenance. And additionally, last 2 weeks we had a press conference at Budumbura. We identified some areas that are flooded, and whenever the vehicles drive through, some of them do damage their engines and stuff. We were saying that at least those areas they can do something about it. Even when we go to Budumbura that day, we met the Budumbura police commander. Even we saw him pushing some vehicles from that, vehicles that are being stuck in that area, pushing them from that area. We spoke to him. He even said that he has engaged the contractor severally, advising him to at least do something about that area, but nothing has been done. We gave the government 2 weeks ultimatum to make sure that they can do something about it. Else, those vehicles that flies that road will not continue taking the passengers to their destination again. But we thought it was
that will not be the only road in Ghana that is seeing construction. What is different about this road for which reason we are seeing the inconvenience?
My brother, I wish one day you drive through that road.
No, I don't wish it. I have heard it's bad. I don't want to go. So can you tell me what is different about this road?
I am telling you, myself, I have a vehicle that plies that road. I bought a brand new tire. The vehicle went to Cape Coast. Before he comes back, I have to buy another tire again. And a whole lot. Drivers are, suffering, driving in a state that you spend more hours. And there's a law that a driver don't have to drive more than 4 hours continuous. But driver will be behind the wheels for about 6-7 hours before getting to the destination. Aside that, if you are not careful, you damage your engine, and that is the problem we are going through now. So we found an alternative route by leaving that Budumbura, Makuti area. Then we decide to use Kasua, Bojuasi Road down to Shodu. Then we do that diversion, and by doing that, we'll spend more fuel. And that is why we say, okay, then for us to continue serving the passengers, then it means that we have to come up with a little increment for our drivers to also, get something to continue serving the passengers.
Okay, but my question is that what did the contractor do differently, or what did the contractor not do, for which reason we are seeing the inconvenience? Because roads get even the motorway is under construction. They are creating a motorway, but the people still move, right? It may be slower, but not as slow as we are hearing. So what did the contractor not do right on the Kasua Road, Kasua Bujumbura, Kasua Winneba Road?
Yes, myself, I apply the motorway every day because I live around Ashaiman and I go to work in Accra every day. So I apply it every day. I know it's under construction, but it's not in a state that can damage vehicles. But part of Kasua Winneba stretch, we were advising the contractor that there are bypass roads. The road at the side. Okay, he can bring the machines to grade those areas for it to be a bit more trouble, so that he can concentrate on the major one. That is all we were looking for. And those areas that we think is flooded, those manholes that are there, they can even use some sand or whatever, some gravels to even fill those places, so that at least it will be a bit more trouble for us to use. It's not good. I don't even know how to describe the state of that road over there. It's totally not good. It's totally not good. So all that we want him to do is to at least do some. I know it's under construction. We can't fully construct it, but at least they can fix one side for us to use. Then they can concentrate on the other side for us to also be relieved a little bit.
Which means that the contractor is doing the work without considering the motorists at all.
at all, because you are constructing a route that people are using. You have to know that, let me fix one side for the motorists to use, okay, so that I can concentrate with one side. If I finish with this side, then I'll come back here. You see, you need to consider all these things. But he's doing his own things, and I believe he's not taking any instructions, because speaking to people that the opinion leaders around those areas, most of them are saying that they have engaged in severally, but they don't know why the contractor don't want to listen to their advice.
So you have a case, but there's a challenge. Bright has sent me a message, and Bright says, let's do the calculation. They charge 20% because the road is bad under construction. Should the government leave the roads to be bad so that they charge high while the vehicles break down? How are they going to reduce the fares in the event that the road is finished? And by that time, maybe fuel prices may go up with these corresponding fares. What are they saying? Or what they are saying is not only... Okay, he said, I can't use what he said, but he said that you are setting a bad precedent that will come to haunt you. Because if the roads are good, government can also force them to reduce the fares. So essentially, I think the sense I'm getting here is that why should you be increasing fares because a road is bad?
Because the roads are bad.
And the road is being fixed. And again, does it then mean that anytime there's a bad road anywhere, you would increase fares? That would not be fair.
You see, that shouldn't be the case, all right? Because if we are coming up with transport fare increment, these are not some of the components we use, all right? But all that we are saying is we don't want the situation whereby drivers will not take passengers to those areas. And as I'm speaking to you, we are losing vehicles. We are losing vehicles at the stations. But when we get to a point like maybe as we have given the government up to 29 for them to at least do something about it, and should they fail, then we'll come up with a 20%. If it happens that maybe by the grace of God they've been able to fix it after this 20% increment, we are the same people that can also come in to reverse it. But we don't even want to get to that point, all right? That is why we are still on that issue of the government trying to engage the contractor for him to at least, even as I'm speaking to you, if by tomorrow to Sunday, Monday, we see the contractor on road trying to do what we are trying to, what we are advising him to do, we will not, hesitate to just reverse, with the intention of increasing the transport fares. We will not do that. We know very well that it's not sounding right in the ears of our commuters, because they are going to suffer at the end. But what about if the drivers say now, okay, because taking passengers to those areas, we do damage our vehicles, we spend more money and all that, and that is not the only area that we can run, and we have decided not to go to those areas again. What is the passengers around that area going to do? It means that they are going to be there not getting vehicles to their destination. Then it's also another bad thing. That is why we are saying that.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's Samuel Attah-Mensah, Deputy Industrial and Public Relations Officer of the GPRTU. They are announcing a 20% increase in fares for people who use, or drivers who use the Kasua-Winneba road, because that road is extremely bad. And the feedback we are getting from people who use that road say that it's in a very, very terrible shape. It's under construction, but drivers are simply unable to move on. Tomorrow, the Black Stars will be facing Croatia in the final game in the group stage. We are hoping that we'll inch forward to the round of 32. Now, here at Citi FM, we have a solid team of sports journalists who are covering the event for us. Godfred Akoto-Boafo is in the United States of America. Gabi Ofe is also there. Yao Eje-Minta is also in the United States of America. Edwin Kwakofi is also in the United States of America. All of them focused on the big games and bringing us everything we need to know. So I want to touch base with them. They are in contact with the players, the management, and everybody to see how we are doing. Gabi Milito Ofe has joined us. Gabi, you're welcome.
Thank you, Marusanda.
Gabi, where are you speaking from, and how ready is Ghana for tomorrow?
Well, Sunday, I'm currently at Westboro. It's one of the towns inside Boston. That's about 5 hours drive from Westboro to Philadelphia, where the Black Stars will be playing their final group game later tomorrow.
So you're in Boston, where we played the game against England, but we are going to move to Philly.
Exactly so, yes. So I'll be moving to Philly early tomorrow morning. By 6 a.m., I should be out of Boston, and then by 12 p.m. US time, I should be in Philadelphia.
Where are the players, our players?
Well, Umar Usando, as we speak, our players are currently in Philadelphia. They arrived yesterday, I think 12 p.m. US time. They didn't take much time to get settled in Philadelphia. I mean, after that goalless draw against England. So as we speak, the players have arrived already. They've even taken their first training session. That was yesterday. And they took their morning training session today. It was a light training session, 50 minutes, open to the media and also open to a few spectators who would make their way to where the team is training. So it wasn't too much of a tactical work on the part of the players to be seen and also to be given out by Carlos Queiroz. So I want to believe and say that later this evening, they should have their very final training session before that final group game against Croatia. And that final training session will have a lot to be seen, or will have a lot to be taken from the players. That would be given out by Carlos Queiroz, and that would have to do with a lot of tactical work and a lot of physical work and all of that. So yeah, the players as we speak are currently in Philadelphia for the game tomorrow.
We have 24 hours to the game. Is it 8 p.m. Ghana time or 9 p.m. Ghana time tomorrow?
It's 9 p.m. Ghana time. It's supposed to be 5 p.m. US time. So if you do the math, 4 hours to the 5, that means 9 p.m. Ghana time.
I see. How are we? Okay, do you get the sense of how we'll be approaching the game against Croatia? We've seen what we did. We parked the bus for England and frustrated them nicely, and Kane wanted to die. I'm sure he even got hernia as a result. What will be the approach? Okay, so against England, we're okay to settle for a goalless draw. What should be the approach, or what is our approach going into the game against Croatia, and what does it mean to our proceeding forward or remaining?
Well, Omar Sadam, before I get to the approach from the team, I just want to run our listeners and use through the key scenarios around the game tomorrow, so that I think that everybody will be on the same page regarding the approach from Carlos Queiroz and the boys. I mean, that game against Croatia tomorrow is the final group game in Group L. And the key scenarios in that, around that game, one of it has to do with, to guarantee at least second, which is very likely in the group, we should avoid a defeat, right? A draw should suffice, depending on the other results and also the tiebreakers like the goal difference and all of that. Let's say if we lose by 2-1, that might still work because results elsewhere would align, but a heavy loss would risk our third place and even make it worse. And that's one of the key scenarios I want to talk about. I say that because when you look at our group, in terms of the goals scored, right from match day 1 against Panama and also match day 2 against England, we scored just 1 goal. We've not conceded any. England, on the other hand, have scored 4 goals and they have conceded 2. The 2 came against Croatia. The 4 goals they scored also was against Croatia. They didn't concede against us. They didn't score against us. Croatia themselves have conceded 4 goals. They have scored 3. Yes, they have scored 3 goals. So they scored 2 goals against England, and I believe that 1-0 win against Panama. So they have a goal difference of -1, if my math is correct. England themselves have a goal difference of +2. The Black Stars have a goal difference of 1. So if we go into that game and we lose, we are not out of the group. We still have the conversation, or we'll still qualify as one of the 3rd best placed teams. But that would also mean that we have to rely on results elsewhere. And it's still possible to advance as one of the 8 best placed teams. And that would be dependent on or ranked by the points we get, the goal difference, the goal scored. Some of these things, some of the metrics, these are some of the metrics that they'll look at, especially with a narrow loss or a draw against Croatia. So I think that the technical team and the boys are aware of these key scenarios that I've put up. Then the other thing I want to talk about is the football that we've seen under Carlos Queiroz. Look, Sander, I think Queiroz is who he thinks he is when it comes to his football philosophy. It will be difficult to see Carlos Queiroz playing exciting football or expansive football and then get points. He's been like this ever since he started coaching. Just a slight tweak to his football philosophy, I think, when he was his younger self. But now that he's more experienced and more refined, he stuck to a certain way, which has been very pragmatic. And that will be difficult to see that he goes into that game against Croatia and goes all gun blazing and leaves spaces for the Croatian team to capitalize on. I think that the performance or the approach from the boys tomorrow or from Queiroz himself will probably be a blend of the team taking their moment. When I say that, Croatia will still have a fair share of possession. Not too many like the way we saw against England, because that Croatian team is an aging team. And so we have got the men to match up in terms of the physicality and the pace, and probably even supersede them and hit them on the break. If we're able to execute our transition play well, get into the final third, and make our chances count, I think that we stand a chance of beating Croatia. But even if we beat them, let's say we beat them by 2 goals or 1-0, and England go ahead to still beat Panama, England still tops the group, and we finish second, and we will qualify from the group as on second position. And that will be an okay qualification path for the Black Stars. So, Gabi, so currently there's a lot of key scenarios around.
Yeah, Gabi. So currently we are on 4 points. England on 4 points. England goes against Panama. Even if Panama beats England, England remains on 4 points. Now Panama then gets 3 points. If we are beaten by Croatia, Croatia now gets 6 points, and they become top of the table. Then we are then left with England to decide which of us will become second. Is that how it's going to be like?
Yes, exactly. So,
however, if we beat Croatia, then we are automatically going to be on top of the table with 7 points.
Exactly, and that means that England is losing to Panama. I hope you get it, Sander.
I get you now, but if we draw with Panama, we are going to get. So if we draw with Panama or win, that's the best.
Croatia, you mean?
Croatia. So our best bet should be draw or beat them.
Exactly. I think we should avoid a defeat so that we don't complicate our chances of progressing out of the group. Because when you look at the teams who are finishing or who are picking the third spot, right? 8 teams would qualify. 8 of the third best placed teams would qualify, and there's a table for it. If you check on any of the football apps you are using, there's a table for it. So a lot of the teams are beginning to have 4 points, 4 points, 4 points, 4 points.
So that place is becoming crowded. So we are not any special there. We have to do something about it.
Exactly. But the thing is that some are having 4 points, but the goal difference is not helping. So,
and we are not good at goals either. We just have 1 goal.
Exactly, and that's where we would also come in that conversation, because we haven't scored much. You have just 1 goal in 2 games played, and that's not healthy. So, if we can beat Croatia by 2-0, top that group, and even forget about what England will do against Panama, that's not our business. I think our business should focus on beating Croatia, focus on getting the 3 points, whether it's 1-0 or 2-0, and then you qualify second in the group, depending on the results that will come from England versus Panama. If England is losing to Panama, that's fine, hallelujah. But I mean, if England is beating Panama, we still don't care. But I don't think that Sander, realistically, on paper, England goes into that game and goes to lose to Panama. I mean, it's football; anything can happen. But I think that England, the English team would want to top the group in their cause of also, that they want to win the tournament so that they have their path well calculated. Yeah.
Now, Croatia, we saw what England did to them, but we also saw what they did to Panama, which means that we cannot play with them. They already have 3 points and they are looking to also qualify. Unlike Panama, which is way below down there, which even if they defeat England, they still have 3 points and that will not help them. At least that's how Panama is looking like. How do we have a history with Croatia? What was the statistics looking like? Pound for pound, are we better than Croatia, or they are better than us, or we are par?
It will be our first meeting with the Croats. We've never met them. They are being coached by Zlatko Dalic. He's been with the team for some time now. I mean, he took them to the third place. They finished third in the 2018 World Cup. 2022, they also made another run. I think 2018 they made it to the finals. They lost to France when France beat them, and then 2022 they finished fourth. Right, so it means that in the last two competitions under their head coach is Zlatko Dalic, there is immense progress. There is huge progression under him. But one thing about the Croatian team this season is that, or at this year's World Cup, is that Sander is an aging team. You can look at their goalkeeper, Livakovic. He's around 38, 40 years. I mean, they say goalkeepers become very fine when they are aging. You look at that midfield, they have Modric with 40 years. There is
our very own Luka Modric still playing.
Exactly, Luka Modric is still actively playing for AC Milan and all of that, and he played in the first game. So that midfield is an aging midfield. They haven't got a lot of legs to do the running as compared to, or if you want to juxtapose it to our midfield, maybe a slight exception on Thomas Partey, who I think also doesn't cover a lot of grounds. That's the very simple thing. But if on paper, if you want to compare the midfield combination, I think the Black Stars would have that slight edge against them. So that team is an aging team. But what they've done at this year's tournament, or even maybe in the last 2 years, is that they've slowly integrated their young talents, right from the under 20 to the under 23 and into the national team. So they have a good blend of youthful exuberance and also experience, right? That can hunt us if we go into that game and say that, okay, yeah, because we can brush them aside, or because that team is aging, so we can, I think would be laughing at the wrong side of our mouth. So I think we need to pay particular attention. And then the thing too is that they've played together for some time, unlike our team. I mean, we went to the tournament at the back of losing our best defensive partnership, I think, who have played together since 2022 in Mohamed Salisu and also Alexander Chiku. They have the core of their team still around, and they understand themselves way more better than us. So, look, it's a difficult game, and it's a team that we are going to play that you don't really know what kind of team will show up, Sander, right? Unlike people were very confident of what Panama will do against us, and also what England will do against us. But this Croatian team, they can be very unpredictable under Zlatko Dalic. So I really think it will be a difficult test for us. If we respect them, it's fine. But let's not fear them. It's a similar thing I said en route to that game against England, that we respect them, but let's not fear them. So we take our moment, we capitalize on the spaces they leave behind their team. Just like what England did. If you watch that game, England beat them by 4-2. They didn't give the Croatian team any breathing space. They displayed a lot of signs in terms of being stronger than them, very clinical up front. If we can do something like that against them and wear them out from minute 1 to 60, I think we stand a chance of beating them Sunday.
Thank you so much, Gabi. We'll be joining you on the screens tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marisanda.
That's Gabi Milito Ofe of our sports desk speaking to us from Boston. We'll be heading to Philadelphia the break of sunlight tomorrow morning to cover that particular game for us. Ghana going against Croatia. Scholastica Neti of the City Business Desk is in studio. Net, did you watch both games or the Ghana games?
No, I only watched the second one with England.
How did you feel?
Honestly, I went to bed after the first half because I wasn't.
Your heart could
my
not.
heart couldn't.
Charlie. It's serious.
Yes.
Your heart was doing you something.
The emotional investment is too much.
Charlie. So when you woke up in the morning, you heard that, okay, we have not won, we have not lost.
Yeah, then I was.
Will you watch tomorrow night?
I will.
Me, do you know what I did? I watched with one eye.
How?
You close one eye so that you want to see, you don't want to see, that kind of thing. Yeah, but tomorrow there's two eyes. Gani.
Yeah,
what
man.
can come.
We are fasting the whole day.
Please give us business news.
Okay. Let's get straight to it. And technical advisor at the Ministry of Energy and Green Transitions, Dr. Yusuf Sulemana, says declining global crude oil prices and plans to refine more locally produced crude are expected to ease pressure on fuel prices and provide some relief for consumers at the pumps. His comments follow President John Dramani's Mohammed's sword-cutting ceremony for Phase 2 of the Central Oil Refinery project in Tema, an expansion that is expected to increase the refinery's processing capacity from 40,000 barrels per day to 100,000 barrels per day. Speaking to the Business News, Dr. Yusuf Sulemana indicated that a combination of lower international crude oil prices and enhanced domestic refining capacity could help improve fuel stability in the medium term.
Even within the wartime, we noticed that government managed to buffer the system to ensure that supply was okay. And so with the pressures of the war going down, almost evaporating, and with crude oil prices coming down drastically to pre-war eras, I think that just adds to the advantages, the myriad of advantages that fits into the strategy. First, crude oil prices coming down a little bit. That makes it easier to even bring this crude oil to refine locally, And number two, also, it impacts the pumps, undoubtedly, because whatever we pay at the pump has to do with whatever raw material, the cost of the raw material that is being sent to do the refining locally. And so with crude oil prices going down, and we also strategizing to ensure that our locally produced crude oil is refined in our local run refineries, is going to guarantee us holistic energy security. The pressures at the pumps undoubtedly are going to be something that will be accommodating to the consumer.
Dr. Yusuf Sulemana is technical advisor at the Ministry of Energy and Green Transitions. Now, the International Finance Corporation, IFC, has warned that poor succession planning and governance structures continue to threaten the sustainability of family-owned businesses. Thus, the need for firms to prepare future leaders early while enabling current leaders to transition into advisory roles. According to its ESG advisory lead for Africa, succession remains the most critical challenge confronting family enterprises globally. Speaking at the IFC Family Governance Workshop Series funded by SECO, he stressed the need for businesses to establish strong governance systems and clear rules to ensure smooth transitions between generations.
In any family business setting, succession is the most critical challenge that the family would face and the business would face. As I mentioned, generally in a family business setting, the leaders would stay for 20, 25, 30 years. It's a very long term for any family to really have a process in place to deal with. If you have a process that you only go through once every quarter of a century, it's challenging, it's not easy. So it's very important to have the right governance practices, structures, rules in place to make sure that you prepare the next leaders properly on time, while you also prepare the current leaders to exit the business and to be a support to the future generation. Some of the challenges that many families face, again, across the globe, are the fact that the successors are not prepared enough, are not well prepared, not well educated, don't have the capabilities, don't have the knowledge about the business, not the background. They might have the right background, but they don't know the business very well. They are not ready. They haven't been prepared by the family, by the business. And then the other challenge, on the other hand, is leaders who are not ready to let go.
That was IFC ESG Advisory Lead for Africa, Moez Mayuri. Now, researchers in the agriculture sector are calling for stronger residue monitoring systems and a transition away from conventional chemical-intensive farming practices. The call follows a study by the Center for Indigenous Knowledge and Organizational Development, which found high levels of chemical residues in okra and cabbage samples collected from markets across the country. Melody Fafa Potofi reports.
The National Dissemination Workshop on Chemical Residues
in selected vegetables and agroecological alternatives in Ghana, organized by the Center for Indigenous Knowledge and Organizational Development (CICOD), was attended by representatives from the Ghana Standards Authority, Food and Drugs Authority, Peasant Farmers, Ministry for Food and Agriculture, Environmental Protection Authority, and other development partners. While the widespread use of synthetic pesticides and fertilizers has contributed to increased agricultural productivity, it has also raised significant public health and environmental concerns. According to the research, studies and field observations suggest that commonly consumed vegetables such as okra, tomatoes, peppers, cabbage, and lettuce may contain harmful levels of pesticide residues. As part of the study, 12 vegetable samples were collected from the Medina and Agbogboleshi market in Accra and analyzed by the Ghana Standards Authority. According to the Director of Programs for CICOD, the study revealed that 67.7% of the samples failed residue standards.
And as for us as an organization, we are encouraging or promoting agroecology. And there are a lot of alternative agro pesticides that are bio, so that is what people should be using. People should be using more of the bio pesticides and then if you don't have access to, you have the neem and other materials that you can use.
A representative of the Peasant Farmers Association, Bismarck Norte, called for increased research and active promotion of agroecology practices and the use of biopesticides.
The farmers resort to any intervention that is quick, that can generate quick resources for them. Now the problem is that because we do not have the adequacy of extension people to even teach the farmers how to apply this synthetic product, how to do the moderation, the timing and everything, the farmers are left on their own.
Director for Programs for CICOD also acknowledged that the institution intends to collaborate with the Ministry for Food and Agriculture to develop an agroecology policy.
Well, it will get to a time that the impact will be really damning, right? That we are consuming it. That for me is the issue. We are consuming it, and we need to stop. That's why we've started a collaboration with the ministry to develop an agroecology policy.
That was Wilberforce Latte, Director of Programs at CICOD, ending that report by City News' Melody Fafa Potofi. Now, government says its new agreement to purchase 30% of gold output from large-scale mining firms will strengthen Ghana's economic buffers and support broader macroeconomic stability objectives. According to the Ghana Gold Board, the arrangement marks a major shift in the country's gold management strategy and is expected to accelerate gold reserve accumulation. Speaking after reaching the agreement with the Ghana Chamber of Mines, CEO of Gold Board Sami Jamfi said the new framework expands government access to domestically produced gold and creates additional support for economic resilience.
On behalf of the President of the Republic and the Minister for Finance, I would like to thank the Chamber of Mines for leading this process and for the concessions they have made in helping us reach this agreement, which will go a long way to support gold reserve accumulation, improve economic buffers, and help government achieve its economic stability objectives. We are very, very excited that unlike the previous arrangement, this time around we will not just be getting 20% but 30%. This is historic. This is landmark, and we are grateful for that. Again, unlike the previous arrangement, we will be buying this gold in Ghana cities, locally in Ghana, in a form of dory, and we will be refining this gold locally in Ghana. We'll be taking the refined gold to LBMA refineries outside Ghana for melting and stamping and for onward delivery of the related bullion to the Bank of Ghana. So this arrangement is going to help us further develop and promote our local refining capacity and local value retention, and it is going to fast track our agenda to achieving LBMA accreditation for at least one of the gold refineries we have in the country.
Sami Jamfi is the CEO of the Ghana Gold Board. For his part, the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbe, reaffirmed the Chamber's commitment to supporting government's efforts to deepen local value retention.
The Ghanaian Chamber of Mines have been aligned to this objective of ensuring that Ghana refines, its gold. It's in line with our whole process of supporting Ghana extract maximum value from the entire value chain. And as we said when we joined the Gold Board and Gold Coast Refinery at the signing agreement, we had initiated some conversations already. We had gone to Rand Refinery ahead of all of that, set up a technical committee. So our commitment to this process has not been in doubt. We also are in support of Ghana's quest to be able to build our war chest of the reserves, because again, any gold mine, any business will thrive in a stable macro environment. So and that's a good thing to do, and we're happy with being able to get some concessions, being able to agree on how this can be done. The good thing is that whatever we are starting, the process is to be able to increase efficiency, so the cost, that we as mining firms will bear will be going down as the years go along.
That was the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Engineer Dr. Ken Ashigbi. And that's it for Business on Eyewitness News. I am Neteli Neti Ajaho.
Thank you so much, Neteli Neti Ajaho. It's now time to give you the microphone in Talkback after this.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
A bank that supports you. A bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams come alive, CBG will make you smile. We will rise with you. Your business will flourish. Your name will stand out. Consolidated Bank, CBG. We stand with you.
These days, some mattresses are being made from all kinds of unsafe materials that are not fit for sleeping surfaces. These materials may be cheap, but they can be harmful to your health. If you haven't slept well, you cannot work and think well, and you are ultimately putting your health at risk, which can cause you a lifetime discomfort and chronic pain. As responsible citizens, we should invest in safe, durable, and certified mattresses. Latex Foam remains the tried and tested brand we all love for almost 60 years now. They offer you unmatched quality and durability for every Ghanaian home. Talk to them on 0302-231-155 in Accra and 03220-29365 in Kumasi for all your inquiries, or walk into any of their outlets nationwide for your preferred choices. Do not settle for less. Go for quality, but Latex Foam, or else you do yourself. Latex Foam, your partner for life.
Everybody they sell, but your shop they empty.
Where's my report?
Bro, month no end here too. But see, your pocket stop they take. Another emergency for the house.
Come me get ideas. Ideas go kill them.
Another idea, another mark time. No capital to start. For some people, this silence no be peaceful. It be money matter.
With bills, there's no need for silence. From my emergency loans to salary loans to working capital loans and startup loans, Bills has you covered.
Apply with your Ghana card today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390. Bills, financing your needs. T's and C's apply.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let me now get the messages. I'll take it from the bottom up, and not Papa Bisu. This one is from Anafena Neku, says It's deeply distressing to see such actions in South Africa. I personally suffered significant losses in 2015 during xenophobic attacks in Ventersdorp, Northwest Province. I can confirm that the authorities are fully aware of the situation. Napari from Usbridge, London, says, I'm a Ghanaian living in London, and listening to these children in South Africa here brings tears to my eyes. It hurts to hear they are growing up far from home without the full warmth of Ghanaian culture and community around them. All African leaders should come out to reject SA and cut ties with them. This one from Hamdan in New South says, at this point, I think every African country should focus on developing their country rather than giving helping hands to their neighboring countries. This is because South Africa has demonstrated the unforgettable lesson to the African continent. Cray in Akosombo says, great interview with a Ghanaian living in South Africa. One of my best interviews I have listened to. Thank you so much, Cray. Papa Bisu in Spintex in Accra says, hi Sandra, so sad listening to the kids, missing their friends, the insults and maltreatment on them by their teachers. Some natives thinking of how their parents can afford school fees, feeding, etc. in Ghana for their future. Too bad. This one from Erom says, I think everyone should leave that country for them, and every country in Africa should make sure no South African stays there. This is annoying. If they are visiting this illegality on people who have legal rights to be there, they should live in their country alone. Kofi Intema says, listening to the two Ghanaian kids makes me so sad. The South Africans are sowing a very bitter seed they will definitely reap in the future. Kids of fellow Africans are being subjected to such abuse because the leadership of that country sees nothing wrong with the problem at hand. Andrew Manga in Boku Upper East says, the late comrade Nelson Mandela will not be happy with the current happenings in South Africa. They should exercise restraint. This one from from Kennedy Conlan Nathaniel in Yonyo Naswan says, the MPP is a very vindictive and intolerant party. What did Honorable Kennedy Pon say that is not true? They should keep quiet and suffer the abuse. This one says, they hailed and praised Martin Amidu, conferring on him the title Citizen Vigilante for attacking the NDC between 2010 and 2012. But when Ken tries it a little on MPP, hooray, heaven breaks loose. That's a message from, this one from Agbamado in Huti in the Volta region says, the driver union should stop this kind of hypocrisy in Ghana. Are they serious at all? Is a contractor not on site despite this rainy season? If this should be applied on all roads in Ghana, then we cannot even broadcast. Akate Raymond from Agotime Ekweto says, NPP is frustrated in opposition. That's why they cannot tolerate criticism. They will sink further. DKM, Farm Milk Junction, I think that should be around Ablekuma, says, Ken Ejepon must go. That's a simple message that he has sent across. Emil Akwinsevi in Akwemufie says, thank God Larry Dogbe has been granted bail. However, this should be a big lesson to other publishers and serial callers. Seek the consent of the victim before publication. That's what you say. So those are messages coming through on WhatsApp. Let me go on X. And Akpaliok Daniel says, when the right people are at the helm of affairs, excellence becomes the norm. The resurgence of the Black Stars is a testament to what competent leadership, proper planning, and clear vision can achieve. Baba Chairman in Tamale says, I cry for motorists on the Kaswa Winneba Road. I was on it 2 weeks ago, and the contractor is really not considering the plight of road users. NSB Asante says, these young guys are speaking like the South African born peers. Why the bullying in schools? Baba Chairman in Tamale says, I'm very sure the great singer Benny Spears will be very disappointed in the South Africans. He sang a song and was asking the world about South Africa. Bob Etonam Malike says, I'm really enjoying the show, but I'm concerned that this case might be at risk since their faces are all over. Their safety following this interview cannot be guaranteed. Those are the messages that you have sent through here on Eyewitness News. And that's how we end today's edition of the show, and indeed for the week, which came to you from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tessan in Accra. I am Umaru Sandamado. I was joined in studio by Fafa Melody Potufe, who brought us the news summaries. Netele Nete brought us the business news. I was produced by Juliana Odami Asari, Fred Tete Jabano, Beverly Landon, Sami Wiafi, and the technical support from Emmanuel Lati. The new media team supported us with social media presence. There will be more news at 8 p.m. on Channel 1 television tonight. I'll be bringing you CNR, that's Channel 1 Newsroom. And then tomorrow at 9 a.m., I'll be bringing you The Big Issue on 97.3 Citi FM and then on Channel 1 TV. Now, after that 9 p.m., that 9 a.m., 12 hours later, we'll be all wearing the yellow jersey and celebrating with the Black Stars as we go head-to-head against Croatia. And that is what I'm going to segue into now, because the sports team is here. Bernard Abeku-Ochri is in studio, and he's here with the Black Stars lead supporter, biggest supporter. And I wanted to also say anti-Otto Addo, but I won't say that one.
You just said it. But that one, you see the way the country is benefited, right?
Because you
kept
him on his toes.
We had to insist that he had to go.
That's Coach Nimley.
That was the best for this country.
So far, coaching, how is our coach doing?
Absolutely wonderful. He's been brilliant. He's been
not
tactical.
Scoring goals, Coach. I want to score goals.
The goals will come. Normally, in a major tournament like this, it is proper defending that takes you far.
But it's at the group stages that you can do things. If you go past now, everything is knockout.
When it gets to the knockout and you can defend well, you definitely go through.
Yeah, but you go to penalty and then that's always been our Achilles heel.
If you can defend well, you don't need more than a goal to win a knockout game. That takes you to the next stage. So the foundation has been laid. That's why some of us are calling upon the technical team to be a bit bold, to bench somebody. It is not an irony, neither is it a coincidence that the Black Stars have scored all the transitional goals we've scored has been in the absence of the captain of the team.
Okay, how and why do we choose captains for games? Do we choose a captain because of maturity, experience, age?
A lot goes into that. In Ghana here,
but
the norm has been the one who's the longest serving player.
But that notwithstanding, he also has a certain symbol. His name even is a big deal. So I said this to Abeku and the rest the last time, that I thought against England, Jordan should start, and I believe that he's our captain. He should start, but 7 minutes, 16 minutes. Then he can go and rest. For some reason, his head got hurt. I thought that's when he was going to go out, but he still stayed. But I think he did better against England than he did with Panama.
There was absolutely no improvement in his game against England.
Doesn't improve then?
No, not at all.
So for you, he should be benched.
He's an integral member of the team. His style of football is not making anybody around him better.
Okay.
That is why the moment you take him out, everybody looks excited and ready to go. The style of football that he's playing will benefit this team, especially during the knockout stages when we've got something to protect. So you put him on the bench. Let the runners do the thing and let them get some form of advantage. Because are you aware that he hasn't scored a World Cup goal in 3 World Cups?
Wow.
He hasn't.
Compared to his brother,
the brother has been far better when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net. He hasn't scored. And I was trying to go through even the shot he's had on target in 3 World Cups.
Not be impressive.
It's not been more than 10. For a lead striker, that is unacceptable.
But you also can't have the whole 90 minutes without your captain on the field.
No, you can do that without your captain. Senegal is just playing without Koulibaly. Senegal have started with that. He's the most experienced, the most everything. He's the captain of the team. He's captained this team to 2 AFCON finals, 2 AFCON successes, and 1 AFCON second place.
So it's even better if you are from the bench, because you can even help the coach.
That's what I'm saying. If you look at the way he plays his game, Jordan, he will be a better player.
I'm doing an extended version. Ivan, forgive me. I have one more question. You are the one going to ask this question. Yeah. I was thinking, so what if at the group stage nobody scores? So, for instance, at our group stage, so does it mean nobody will qualify? Because
nobody scores.
Like no teams, everybody draws, and there'll be yellow cards. They'll use yellow card to determine you. If it's the worst come to worst, they will toss the coin to determine alphabetical. A lot goes in. Definitely, they've got
2 have to go out.
Yeah, 2 definitely have to go out.
Oh, okay. Let me hand it over to you now, Bernard Abiku to bring us Sports Panorama, and it is going to be brutal.